Grab your favorite calendar and let's talk about time management in this new year for our first Motivation Monday of 2021. Happy New Year to you. We are praying and hoping for a better 2021. You've probably heard by now the joke about the worst investment that you could have made in 2020. What was it? You guessed it, a calendar. We're thankful for the pretty photos, but that's about all this was useful for in 2020. But we're hopeful for a great 2021. We have two family calendars, one filled with cat photos of our cat, another one filled with family photos. We're looking forward to filling them up with great things. How do we manage our time wisely in 2021, no matter the situation that we face? We're knowing that we're still going to be facing some challenges from COVID for the first part of the year. Hopefully things start calming down as the year goes on. That's our prayer. But we can be using this time wisely. So let's take our lesson about Solomon this week. Yesterday morning, if you're with us at Bridgewood, we had 3 points in our sermon about Solomon. We're going to apply them to managing our time. Number one was to grow in wisdom. 1 Kings 3 talks about Solomon receiving wisdom and administering justice. We too, as New Testament Christians, are supposed to be growing in wisdom. And one of the things that we can do with our calendars to grow in wisdom is each week write in a verse that we're going to commit to memorize, to carry with us all the time. So each week, write that verse on there. You can do the same thing on a phone calendar. And we're going to strive to build that base of knowledge in our head of God's Word. What a great way to grow in wisdom. Our second point in the lesson about Solomon was to pursue God's goals. Solomon pursued the goal of building the temple. It was set out for him. And one of the things that we can do with our time and with our calendars is be purposed in spending our time wisely. One of the things that you can do is really research and analyze, where do I waste time? And if you're like me and like a lot of folks in my age range, one of those places where you can really burn up some time is on social media on our phones. It just it's designed to pull us in, to keep us going, keep us scrolling. And so what we can do, social media has great benefits, but what we can do is perhaps delete the app from our phone so that we're purposed, we're coming to the computer, and we're going to sit, we're going to check in with everybody, then we're going to move on to something else. So that's something you can do too in managing your time, making sure you're making good use so that you can pursue God's goals in your life. Our third point was to remain faithful in all things. We read in 1 Kings 11 that Solomon in the latter part of his reign drifted away, became unfaithful. And we don't want that to happen in our lives. And so I'm going to read a passage for you. I'm going to put it up here on the screen, Ephesians 5:15 through 16. Be careful how you walk, not as unwise, but wise, making the most of your time, because the days are evil. That word that's translated there, evil, could also very well be translated as toilsome or painful. And I like to think about the text in that. We do recognize there's bad things going on around us, but we also recognize that these days can be toilsome and can be painful. And so we're going to do our best to use our time wisely so that we can remain faithful in all things. I hope that you have a great week. I hope that 2021 is a great year for you and for all of us. And let's do our best to be encouragers, to look for ways to help our neighbors, to grow in wisdom, and remain faithful in all things as we pursue God's goals. God bless you.